Weirdly, I'm feeling very motivated today, which you'll know is unusual for me on Monday if you've seen any of my previous vlogs. But I think I know that this week has to be a more study heavy week, in fact a very study heavy week. That's non-negotiable because, as you'll know if you saw last week's video, I didn't really study much at all last week, and to be honest I didn't really do that much the week before either. Mainly because I think I just wanted to spend as much time in Alex's company as I could before he went away. But he is now away for 6 weeks and I really need to crack on with some of my summative assessments, because although I've got ages until the actual official deadline, I start my graduate job fairly soon. So the plan is just to get them sort of done and out of the way before I then start working full time. Otherwise I think it's going to be quite tricky to be working and then coming home and working on them in the evenings, because I find it really difficult to work on uni work in the evenings. So very glad that I'm feeling motivated today. I think it helps that I had quite a restful weekend. I had sort of most of the weekend to myself intentionally, even though I knew I was going to feel sort of lonely with Alex not being here. I knew that I was really tired and I just needed a little bit of time completely to myself. So it's now Wednesday. I didn't film at all yesterday because I was at my new job all day, which was quite exciting. I actually kind of can't wait to finish uni and to start my job now, mainly so that I have a little bit of money, I won't lie, because not that money's everything, but I've funded uni now for 4 years, and so I've kind of had a student budget for a long time. And yeah, like I say, money's not everything, but it would just be nice to be able to go and do things I want to do, or maybe buy things I want to buy without thinking, oh my goodness, can I afford to do this? So I'd say that's my win for the week, is the fact that everyone at my new job is so lovely and welcoming, and it's just made me feel like I can't wait to start, which to me is a big win, because I was really worried that when I finished uni I'd be stuck in a job I wouldn't enjoy, because you hear all the time about graduates not being able to find work. So that was quite a big fear of mine. But yeah, I feel incredibly lucky that I found a job that I actually enjoy going into. Not that I've started properly yet. I've just done 2 days in June and 2 days in July, but it's made me be really excited to start, so that's a good sign. This morning so far all I've done is got ready and I started looking through Premiere Pro, because I'm going to start using that for editing now. And then right now I'm heading into the city because I need to return some things to Zara. I did a little Instagram story a few days ago about fast fashion, sustainable fashion, etc. It's something that I'm getting really interested in. I listened to Naina Florence's podcast the other day. She did an episode all on dressing sustainably and fast fashion, etc. And it was a really good episode and it really made me think. And since then I've been seeing videos and photos online as well. I don't know, well, I know obviously you can't trust everything you see online, but I reckon a lot of them are kind of true. There was one photo of a photo from space and you could literally see this huge pile of disregarded fast fashion. Like I say, I don't know whether it's 100% true, whether it's a little bit photoshopped. I don't know, I don't want to trust it completely, but regardless, the issue is real and it really made me think twice about what I'm buying. It's something I've been interested in for a while now. I haven't bought any new clothes until I did the Zara order for quite a while, but I'm getting more and more interested in it. I feel as though sustainability, global warming, all of that stuff was taught a lot throughout school, but especially in primary school it was very preachy, and I feel like I wasn't really interested in it growing up for that reason. It's the same sort of reason that I'm not religious now, because I went to a religious primary school and I found it very preachy, and I'm not the sort of person that will like take on an idea or be interested in something unless I feel like I'm engaged in like a two-way dialogue about it and I can like put my ideas forward. And getting back to the point that I was making, I was talking about on my Instagram story how I very rarely now buy fast fashion or high street fashion or just generally new clothes. I tend to use like Vinted or charity shops, but I understand that like I'm not perfect, as is no one else, and basically if I can look at an item of clothing and honestly think that I will still be wearing it in 5 years' time, then I'm a lot more lenient with myself. So I did do a Zara order when they had their sale on, and I honestly think that all of the items I bought from the sale I will still be wearing in 5 years' time, hence I bought them. But getting back to my original point of going into Zara today, there were a few items that unfortunately don't fit. I was so convinced it was all going to fit, so a little bit annoyed it doesn't, because I know the issues with like returning clothes as well and how they could sometimes get like sent to landfill or whatever, so I don't like doing that either, but unfortunately I do have to today. So I'm now going to head into the city and return those, and then come back here, work on a formative, and I'm going to try really hard to work on it at home today, because as nice as it is to go to a cafe, I don't want to spend any money today. Guys, it's lunchtime already. I don't feel like I've achieved anything all day. So far, all I have literally done is like life admin stuff, like replying to emails, doing a little bit of work, trying to get hold of the council because I'm having a nightmare with my council tax bill. Won't go into that, but it's taking up a lot of time at the moment. Yeah, just like boring life adult admin things that I really don't want to be doing but need to be done. But it was actually kind of nice to do it in like a block just to get it all out of the way. I've had some lunch. I actually had soup for lunch today, which is usually a bit of like an autumn winter thing for me, but the weather today is actually pretty grim. It's rainy and cold and miserable, so it actually kind of felt like a soup day. I've got work at 6 today. I think I'm handing out like the mugs again for graduation. I did a shift the other day. It was just so nice to see everyone like happy at graduation, see all their family there. Yeah, it was a nice shift. I'm glad I'm doing that one again. So I've got that at 6. Between now and 6, I'm literally working on my summative assessments all day, because one of my classmates yesterday made me realise how soon one of them is due in. I'm usually on top of this stuff. I don't know why I thought I had a lot longer. I mean, I've still got like almost a month, but I start my graduate job on the 8th of August, or 7th of 8th. I sound so disorganised in this video, I promise I'm on it, but basically I start my grad job in about 2 weeks, and I'd really like to get the summative done before I start the job so that I'm not having to try and do both at the same time. I don't mind like finishing them off in the evenings, but if I could get like the main bulk of them done, that would be great. So that's my job for the rest of today, but I actually also have an online lecture at 1, but it's literally just a Q&A lecture for the summative, so I'll probably just like hop on, maybe ask a few questions, clarify everything, and then yeah, crack on with the summatives. Before I crack on though, there's a few things I thought would be quite interesting to share. Basically, whilst Alex has been away and I've been by myself a lot more, like in the house and just generally throughout the day, I feel as though I've had more time to like reflect, and I do feel like I've learnt more about myself. So I did a little bit of journaling the other evening, and I just thought it'd be quite interesting to share with you. The first thing I wrote down is I need people, which sounds so obvious, like we're humans, we're social beings, of course we need people, but I thought I was like very good at being by myself, doing things by myself. Like I go out and do things by myself all the time. I don't see it as being like a big thing. So yeah, I thought I was like okay by myself. I didn't like rely on people, but I've written in here, I never fully appreciated having someone to come home to. And then a bit later on, I also did like another arrow down to the bottom because I wanted to add on. And I put that I don't think I appreciated before how much I enjoyed and actually need like the tiny interactions you have throughout the day. Little things like talking to people in a shop queue or at a till, you know, just the tiny interactions that you literally don't think twice about in the day. But I think not having someone to come home to and like talk to in the evenings has really made me realise that I need those little interactions throughout the day as well. Second thing I wrote down is I don't look after myself properly. This is something Alex had been telling me for ages, and I was very much like, oh, you know, it's fine, I look after myself, I do self-care things, etc., which I do. But I wrote this down because I found myself getting home a lot over the last sort of week and thinking to myself things like, oh, it doesn't matter, I won't cook for myself tonight, there's no point in cooking for one person. Whereas if Alex was here, like, I would just cook and wouldn't even question it because I'm like, we're humans, we need food. But when it's only me, I don't like value myself enough, I guess, to cook a good meal for myself. When I was thinking about it more sort of deeply, I did realise that I'll do things for other people long before I will do things for myself. Like, I don't prioritise myself, and I don't think that's necessarily an awful thing. Like, it's obviously nice to do things for other people, but I think you do need to prioritise yourself to some extent. And the third thing I wrote down is that I rely on my phone far too much. Again, this is one thing that I didn't really realise, like the independence thing. I didn't think I went on my phone that much, but apparently I do. I realised that I subconsciously just turn to it quite often throughout the day, to the point where last week I literally realised that I'd seen exactly the same Instagram feed like 5 times, which means I must have been on my phone like 5 times in a few minutes, which is so stupid. I think it's easier not to do it when there's people around you to hold yourself accountable, but yeah, when I'm by myself, I didn't realise how much I used my phone. So I don't know if that was interesting or not, but I found it quite interesting to learn about myself. I didn't realise how much I would be sort of reflecting on things whilst Alex wasn't here. So it's quite interesting, and obviously there's a few bits that I'm going to try and work on now. Right now I'm going to say goodbye. I've got to join this online Q&A and I need to just like read through the summative brief again, make sure I don't have any more questions, and then I'm going to be studying all day, so hopefully it will still make an interesting vlog. Actually heading off to my old house this morning because I have to finish clearing it before the tenancy ends on the 1st of August, I think. So it's coming up, so I want to get it all cleared and done and out of the way. I've given myself until 11 to do that. I'm hoping it won't take that long. It's now around 9:30. So give myself until 11. I need to be back here for 11 because we're having a fridge delivered sometime between 11 and 3. So whilst I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to get cracking with some uni work. And then I have work from 3:45 until 5:45 today. So it's quite a long and busy day. And I also might go swimming this evening. I literally never fancy swimming, but for some reason at the moment I really want to go. So I might do that after work. We'll see how I feel. I might be a little bit too tired.